Welcome to Virtual Airspace, a fully animated tutorial conveying two-dimensional low-altitude sectional charts into meaningful three-dimensional representation, removing the mystery and intimidation of learning the National Airspace System. The first three-dimensional video tutorial provides an introduction to the National Airspace System, offers a glimpse of what is to follow, and demonstrates the first classification of airspace, known as A or Alpha Airspace. Throughout the tutorial, you will hear traditional abbreviations which include MSL for mean sea level, AGL for above ground level, IFR for instrument flight rules, VFR for visual flight rules, and ATC for air traffic control. Air traffic control, or ATC, began in the U.S. in the late 1920s. Early controllers used maps, blackboards, light signals, and flags to manage the safe separation of aircraft and convey their instructions to pilots. As aircraft traffic increased, so did the need to ensure their safe separation. Over the years, the definitions, dimensions, and names of the airspace classes have changed, but the reason for a unified airspace system remains the same. The National Airspace System includes more than 19,000 airports, 750 ATC facilities, and about 45,000 instruments that function to provide safe and efficient flight services. Since 1993, there are 6 airspace classifications in the U.S. and are simply named as Class Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Golf. Class F or Foxtrot airspace is not used in the United States or Australia, but can be found in countries such as Canada, Mexico, South Africa, the Caribbean, Malta, Malaysia, Thailand, Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, New Zealand, and Europe, including England, France, and Germany. Aside from physical differences, airspace classifications can be categorized by 3 basic criterion, which are communications requirements, weather minimums for VFR flight, and airspeed limitations. Communications can be categorized into a two-way radio and a transponder. Some airspace classifications require both, while others require only two-way radio communications. A transponder has a unique role in identifying your aircraft, so we can place it into the communications category. Radar cannot determine the altitude of any aircraft without the assistance of a Mode C transponder with altitude encoding. The second criterion, which can be different between the airspace classes, is weather minimums for VFR flight. Each airspace classification has its own published VFR minimums for both cloud clearance and visibility. As you progress through the tutorial, you will discover that some airspace classifications have the same minimums for both visibility and for cloud clearance. And now, onto our first airspace classification. Class A or Alpha airspace was created to ensure positive control of all aircraft at high altitudes based upon a problem separating high-speed IFR and VFR aircraft. The solution to this problem was to mandate instrument flight rules at or above 18,000 feet MSL, thus prohibiting VFR flight. From 18,000 feet MSL up to and including 60,000 feet MSL, or flight level 600, all pilots must be instrument rated and must be cleared on an approved IFR flight plan. All aircraft must be instrument certified and fly at standard pressure altitudes by setting the altimeter's Colesman window to 29.92. Class Alpha airspace covers the continental United States and limited parts of Alaska. This includes the airspace overlying the waters within 12 nautical miles of the U.S. coastline. There are no speed limits or visibility minimums for Class A airspace, as with the other 5 airspace classifications. All aircraft are required to operate a Mode C transponder with altitude encoding and maintain radio communications with ATC. Flights above 24,000 feet MSL will also require Distance Measuring Equipment, or DME. Class A airspace is not indicated on the sectional chart.